I'm about to share something that transformed my life at 68 years old. And it might sound sentimental, but it's backed by real science and medical evidence. Spending regular, intentional time with my grandchildren has improved my physical health, cognitive function, emotional well-being, and longevity in ways I never imagined. I know what you're thinking. Of course, grandchildren bring joy, but actual health benefits? Measurable improvements? That's what I thought too, until I started experiencing them. But I'm Margaret Sullivan. I'm 68. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And over the past 2 years, since I committed to spending consistent time with my 4 grandchildren, my doctor has documented remarkable improvements in my health markers. My mental sharpness has increased. My depression lifted, and I feel 20 years younger. Today, I'm going to share the 7 specific benefits I've experienced, the scientific research that explains why this happens, and how you can maximize these benefits with your own grandchildren. If you're over 60 and have grandchildren, or even if you're considering moving closer to them, you need to hear this. Let me tell you my story. My name is Margaret Sullivan. Everyone calls me Maggie. I'm 68 years old, and I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, specifically in the historic Kenwood neighborhood near downtown. I've lived here for 12 years. My husband Thomas and I moved from Massachusetts when he retired from his 35-year career as a high school principal. We fell in love with St. Petersburg immediately. The beautiful downtown waterfront along Tampa Bay, the gorgeous sunken gardens, the Salvador Dali Museum with its stunning architecture, the Saturday morning market downtown where locals gather for fresh produce and crafts, the beautiful beaches on the Gulf Coast just minutes away, the mild winters that let us be active year-round. We bought a charming 1920s bungalow with a big front porch and a backyard with orange and grapefruit trees. Thomas and I had wonderful years here. Morning walks along the waterfront at Vinoy Park, afternoons exploring the Museum of Fine Arts or the Chihuly Collection, dinners at local restaurants like Local Market or The Mill, weekend trips across the bay to Tampa or down to Sarasota. Thomas died 3 years ago from a sudden stroke. He was 70, seemed healthy, and then one morning he collapsed in our kitchen. Losing him was absolutely devastating. We'd been married 46 years. For the first year after his death, I spiraled into deep depression. I stopped doing the activities we'd enjoyed together. I barely left the house except for groceries and doctor appointments. I gained 35 pounds, reaching 187 pounds at 5'6". My blood pressure shot up to 155/95. My doctor put me on antidepressants and blood pressure medication. I felt purposeless, lonely, isolated, and frankly didn't care much about living. My daughter Jennifer lives in Tampa with her husband and their 3 children. Emma, who's 9, Lucas, who's 7, and Sophie, who's 5. My son David lives in Jacksonville with his wife and their daughter Olivia, who's 11. During that terrible first year after Thomas died, I saw my grandchildren maybe once every 2 months, brief visits on holidays or birthdays. I loved them, but I was so consumed by grief, I couldn't engage meaningfully. I'd sit on the couch while they played, barely participating. 2 years ago, Jennifer sat me down during Thanksgiving at her house in Tampa and said something that changed everything. She said, "Mom, I'm worried about you. You're not yourself. The kids ask about you constantly. They want to spend time with their Nana. I know you're grieving, but isolating yourself isn't helping. I have an idea. What if you committed to coming to Tampa every Wednesday and spending the whole day with the kids? I'll drop them at your house in St. Pete after school, and you can have them until bedtime. Give them dinner, help with homework, play games, whatever. Just be with them. I think it would help you." and I know it would mean the world to them. My first reaction was resistance. I felt too tired, too sad, too old. But Jennifer persisted. She said, "Mom, just try it for 1 month. 4 Wednesdays. If you hate it or it's too much, we'll stop. But please try." I agreed reluctantly, mostly because I couldn't bear the thought of disappointing her or my grandchildren. That first Wednesday, January 15th, 2023, Jennifer dropped Emma, Lucas, and Sophie at my house at 4 p.m. I'd prepared simple spaghetti for dinner and bought a board game called Ticket to Ride from Target on 4th Street North. We ate dinner together at my kitchen table. They told me about their school day, their friends, their favorite subjects. Then we played Ticket to Ride for 2 hours. They taught me the rules. We laughed when I made mistakes. We cheered when someone completed a long route. At 8:30 p.m., when Jennifer picked them up, I felt something I hadn't felt in over a year: genuine joy. That night, I slept better than I had in months. I kept going. Every Wednesday for 2 years now, 154 Wednesdays, I've spent the afternoon and evening with Jennifer's 3 kids. Additionally, once a month on Saturdays, I drive up to Jacksonville, about 2.5 hours, and spend the day with Olivia. Sometimes, all 4 grandchildren come to St. Petersburg for the weekend and stay overnight. The transformation in my life has been absolutely remarkable. Let me share the 7 specific benefits I've experienced. Benefit 1: dramatic improvement in mental health and depression. The first and most obvious benefit was the lifting of my depression. Within 3 months of regular Wednesday visits, I noticed I was waking up with something to look forward to. Tuesdays, I'd plan activities, what I'd cook, what games we'd play, what craft projects we'd do. Wednesdays were full of laughter, energy, conversation, and purpose. Thursdays, I'd reflect on funny things they'd said or sweet moments we'd shared. My doctor, Dr. Rebecca Palmer at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, noticed the change at my 6-month checkup. She said, "Margaret, your affect is completely different. You're smiling, making eye contact, engaged. What changed?" I told her about my Wednesdays with the grandchildren. She said, "That makes perfect sense medically. Social connection, especially intergenerational connection with children, is one of the most powerful antidepressants we know. It releases oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, natural mood elevators. It gives you purpose, structure, and meaning. Research strongly supports this. A 2016 study published in The Gerontologist found that grandparents who cared for grandchildren had significantly lower rates of depression compared to grandparents without caregiving roles. Another study in Menopause Journal found that postmenopausal women who spent time caring for grandchildren 1 day per week had better cognitive function and lower depression scores. After 9 months on my Wednesday schedule, Dr. Palmer tapered me off antidepressants completely. I haven't needed them since. My depression lifted naturally through the consistent connection with my grandchildren. Benefit 2: increased physical activity and weight loss. The second benefit was dramatically increased physical activity. Before my Wednesday started, I was completely sedentary. I'd sit on the couch watching TV most of the day. But caring for active children ages 5, 7, and 9 requires constant movement. We go to the park. North Shore Park, right on Tampa Bay, is their favorite. We walk the trails. They play on the playground. I push Sophie on the swings. We go to the beach, St. Pete Beach, or Pass a Grill. We walk along the shore collecting shells, build sandcastles, wade in the Gulf. We ride bikes. I bought a beach cruiser from Beach Cyclery on Corey Avenue, and we ride around the neighborhood. We play active games in the backyard: tag, hide and seek, soccer. I'm moving constantly on Wednesdays. Walking, bending, lifting, playing. My Apple Watch shows I average 8,000 to 10,000 steps every Wednesday, compared to maybe 2,000 steps on other days. Over 2 years, this consistent activity led to significant weight loss. I've dropped from 187 pounds to 154 pounds, 33 pounds lost. My waist went from 36 inches to 30 inches. I went from size 16 pants to size 10. This wasn't from dieting. I eat normally, including ice cream with the kids from Kilwins on Beach Drive. The weight came off naturally from increased activity and improved mental health, reducing stress eating. My blood pressure dropped from 155/95 to 122/76 without increasing medication. Dr. Palmer reduced my blood pressure medication by half because I didn't need the full dose anymore. Research confirms this. A 2014 study in Journal of Family Issues found that grandparents who provided childcare had higher levels of physical activity and better cardiovascular health markers compared to non-caregiving grandparents. Benefit 3: cognitive stimulation and memory improvement. The third benefit was cognitive stimulation that dramatically improved my mental sharpness. Before my Wednesday routine, I felt mentally foggy, forgetting names, losing my train of thought, struggling to focus. I attributed this to aging and grief, but spending time with curious, talkative children provides constant cognitive challenges. They ask endless questions I need to answer. Nana, why is the sky blue? How do airplanes fly? Where does rain come from? I have to think, recall information, explain concepts simply. We read books together. I read aloud, discuss stories, ask comprehension questions. We do puzzles, 500-piece jigsaw puzzles spread across my dining room table. We play strategy games requiring planning and problem solving. Chess, checkers, Monopoly, card games. We do art projects requiring creativity and fine motor skills. We cook together, following recipes that require measuring, sequencing, and timing. All this cognitive engagement keeps my brain active and sharp. I've noticed significant improvements in memory, focus, and mental clarity. I remember appointments without checking my calendar. I follow complex TV shows without getting confused. I engage in deeper conversations with friends. My mind feels 20 years younger. Research strongly supports this. A 2016 study published in Menopause found that postmenopausal women who cared for their grandchildren 1 day per week scored significantly better on cognitive tests than women who didn't provide childcare or who provided care 5 or more days weekly. The sweet spot was 1 day per week, enough stimulation without overwhelming stress. Another study in Aging and Mental Health found that grandparents engaged in regular childcare had slower rates of cognitive decline and reduced dementia risk. Benefit 4: renewed sense of purpose and meaning. The fourth benefit was regaining purpose and meaning in my life. After Thomas died, I felt purposeless. My children were grown. My career as a nurse had ended with retirement 15 years earlier. My identity had been wrapped up in being Thomas's wife, and suddenly that was gone. I felt like I was just waiting to die. But my Wednesdays gave me renewed purpose. I'm not just Nana. I'm a crucial figure in my grandchildren's lives. Emma tells me things she doesn't tell her parents. Worries about friends at school. Questions about growing up. Lucas asks for my help with math homework because I'm patient and make it fun. Sophie wants to bake cookies with me every week. It's our special tradition. They depend on me. They need me. They love me unconditionally. This sense of being needed and valued is profoundly important for mental and physical health in older adults. Research published in Psychological Science found that having a sense of purpose in life reduces risk of death by 15-20%. and significantly reduces risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and Alzheimer's disease. Purpose gives us reasons to take care of ourselves, stay active, and remain engaged. My grandchildren give me that purpose. On hard days, when I feel tired or sad, I think about Wednesday coming up, and it motivates me to keep going. Benefit 5. Strengthened family bonds and reduced loneliness. The fifth benefit was dramatically reduced loneliness through strengthened family connections. Before my Wednesday routine, I was profoundly lonely. I'd go days without meaningful conversation with another person. I'd eat meals alone in silence. Weekends stretched endlessly with no plans or visitors. But my consistent time with grandchildren created regular touch points with my daughter Jennifer. She drops them off. We chat about their schedules and needs. She picks them up. We debrief about the evening. She calls to coordinate plans. We text photos and funny stories. Our relationship has deepened significantly. I see her parenting challenges and support her. She sees my strengths and values my contributions. My relationship with David in Jacksonville has also strengthened. Our monthly Saturday visits with Olivia mean I talk to David frequently to coordinate. When I visit, I stay for dinner, and David and I have meaningful adult conversations we didn't make time for before. I'm no longer lonely. I'm integrated into my children's daily lives. I'm part of a family system where I'm valued and needed. This social connection is critically important for health and longevity. Research confirms this powerfully. A landmark study published in Perspectives on Psychological Science found that social isolation and loneliness increase mortality risk by 26 to 32%, comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes daily. Another study in Heart Journal found that socially isolated older adults had 29% increased risk of heart disease and 32% increased risk of stroke. Conversely, strong social connections reduce these risks dramatically. My Wednesday routine and monthly Jacksonville visits ended my social isolation. I'm connected, engaged, and integrated into my family's life. Benefit 6. Living in the present moment and reduced anxiety. The sixth benefit was learning to live in the present moment, which dramatically reduced my anxiety. Before my Wednesdays, I ruminated constantly about the past, replaying memories of Thomas, dwelling on regrets, stuck in grief. I also worried constantly about the future, my health declining, running out of money, dying alone. But young children live entirely in the present moment. When Sophie wants to paint, she's completely absorbed in choosing colors and making brush strokes. When Lucas plays soccer in the backyard, he's fully focused on dribbling and kicking. When Emma reads a book with me, she's engaged in the story unfolding on each page. Their present moment focus is contagious. When I'm with them, I can't dwell on the past or worry about the future. I'm fully engaged in what we're doing right now, building a Lego castle, playing a board game, making pizza together. Their joy and presence pull me into the now. This practice of present moment awareness, essentially mindfulness meditation, has reduced my anxiety significantly. I catastrophize less. I sleep better. I enjoy small pleasures more. The taste of fresh strawberries from the Saturday morning market, the sight of pelicans diving for fish along the waterfront, the feel of warm sunshine on my skin. Research on mindfulness and present moment awareness shows it significantly reduces anxiety, depression, and stress while improving well-being. Spending time with grandchildren naturally creates this mindfulness practice. Benefit 7. Increased longevity and health span. The seventh benefit is the one my doctor emphasized most: increased longevity and health span. Not just living longer, but living healthier longer. Dr. Palmer said, "Margaret, based on research, your regular caregiving for your grandchildren is likely adding years to your life and significantly improving the quality of those years." She cited a landmark study published in Evolution and Human Behavior that followed 500 people for 19 years. The study found that grandparents who cared for grandchildren had 37% lower mortality risk compared to grandparents who didn't provide care. Another study in menopause found that women who spent 1 day per week caring for grandchildren had 55% lower mortality risk over 10 years compared to women without caregiving roles. The mechanisms are multiple: increased physical activity, cognitive stimulation, reduced depression, stronger social connections, renewed purpose, reduced stress. All of these factors independently increase longevity, and combined, their effects are powerful. Dr. Palmer said, "Your health transformation over the past 2 years, weight loss, blood pressure improvement, cognitive improvement, depression remission, suggests your biological age is younger than your chronological age. You're aging slower because of this lifestyle." That was profound to hear. At 68, I feel healthier, happier, and more vital than I did at 66 before Thomas died. My grandchildren have literally extended and improved my life. Practical tips for maximizing benefits. If you're inspired to deepen your relationship with your grandchildren, here are practical tips based on what's worked for me. Establish consistency. Regular, predictable time is more valuable than occasional marathon visits. My weekly Wednesday routine creates stability for the kids and structure for me. They know Nana Day is coming. I know I have something to look forward to every week. Age-appropriate activities. Tailor activities to their developmental stages. For Sophie at 5, we do simple crafts, read picture books, play basic games. For Lucas at 7, we play more complex board games, do science experiments from kits I buy at Barnes & Noble on 4th Street North. For Emma at 9, we have deeper conversations, do more sophisticated cooking projects, work on longer-term art projects. Create traditions. Weekly traditions create anticipation and connection. Every Wednesday, we make homemade pizza together. They roll dough, spread sauce, add toppings. Every month, we go to the Great Explorations Children's Museum downtown. Every season, we do a special outing, picking strawberries at Parksdale Farm Market in Plant City in spring, going to Busch Gardens in summer, visiting the pumpkin patch at Al's Garden Center in fall, looking at Christmas lights at Florida Botanical Gardens in winter. Be fully present. Put away your phone. Turn off the TV. Give them your complete attention. They notice and appreciate it. When Emma tells me about her day, I listen actively, ask follow-up questions, remember details for next time. Don't overdo it. Research shows the sweet spot is 1 to 2 days per week. More than that can become stressful and reduce benefits. I do Wednesdays weekly and one Saturday monthly with Olivia. That's perfect for me. I have time to rest and recover while still providing meaningful care. Communicate with parents. Regular communication with your adult children about schedules, rules, discipline, diet, and expectations prevents conflict and creates partnership. Jennifer and I text frequently. I follow her parenting rules even if I do things differently. Take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. I prioritize sleep, eat nutritious meals, stay active on non-Wednesday days with morning walks at Vinoy Park. I see friends for lunch at 4th Street Shrimp Store. I attend book club. I maintain my own life while also being present for grandchildren. My message to you: if you're over 60 and have grandchildren, I encourage you to invest deeply in those relationships. If you live far away, consider how you might see them more regularly. Monthly visits, FaceTime calls, summer stays. If you live nearby, but see them infrequently, propose a regular schedule like my Wednesday routine. Talk to your adult children about how you can support them while enriching your own life. This isn't just about being a good grandparent, though it is that. This is about your health, your longevity, your mental well-being, and your quality of life. The research is clear. Regular, meaningful time with grandchildren can add years to your life and life to your years. I'm 68 years old. 2 years ago, I was depressed, isolated, overweight, and felt my life was over. Today, I'm healthy, active, purposeful, joyful, and looking forward to many more years. My grandchildren saved my life. Let me say that again. My grandchildren saved my life. Not dramatically in one moment, but gradually, consistently, week by week, through connection, purpose, laughter, and love. If this story resonates with you, please leave a comment below sharing your experience with grandchildren. Do you see them regularly? How has it impacted your life? If you're considering deepening that relationship, what's holding you back? Let's start a conversation in the comments. And please hit that subscribe button for more honest conversations about aging, family relationships, health, and practical strategies for thriving in our senior years. Drop a like if this information was valuable. It helps other grandparents find this content. Share this video with friends who have grandchildren. Remember, these relationships aren't just nice to have. They're essential for health and longevity. At 68, I'm living proof. I hope my story inspires you to invest deeply in your grandchildren. They need you, and you need them more than you might realize.